Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV, and we talk about cord cutting on this channel quite frequently. And one of the words I keep throwing around in relation to cord cutting is a gateway device like this HDHomerun here. But I haven't done an explainer in a while actually showing you what a gateway device does. And that will be what we'll focus on in this video. Not only how you get the over-the-air signals, but what to do with them when you plug them into one of these devices. And at the end, I'll talk about why really convenient and useful and money-saving devices like this are at risk because of broadcasters hoping to encrypt their signals in the coming months. And that'll be at the end here. Now, I do want to let you know, in the interest of full disclosure, that we'll be looking at an HDHomerun device today. This came in free of charge from the manufacturer. However, they are not reviewing or approving what you're about to see before it was uploaded. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own, and no other compensation was received. So why don't we talk about what a gateway device does? And on my desk here, I've got an HDHomerun as an example. And it's very simple, actually. You've got a spot for your antenna. I'll talk more about antennas in a minute. And then you have an Ethernet port here for connecting this to your home network. And once it's on the network, you can load up an app on a compatible device. It works with just about everything. So Fire TVs, Android TVs like this one, Apple TV, Roku, whatever you got, it will likely have an app. Your TV may have the ability to have that app run natively on it. And when you pop it in here, it will pull up whatever is on the air and let you watch it. And some of the HDHomeruns, like one that I have upstairs, actually have a USB port on it so you can connect storage and use this as a DVR as well. So it can record content when you're not able to watch it and you can play it back later. It's very, very flexible like that. And in addition to going to televisions, these gateway devices allow you to watch TV with anything that has a screen in your house. So for example, I've got my iPhone here. It works great on that. It works on tablets like the iPad and Android phones and tablets too. On the HDHomerun, at least, you can also watch it on computers. So my wife typically watches the morning news on her Mac in the morning using the HDHomerun app. Now, the Tablo does not currently support computer playback at the time I'm recording this video. So definitely do a little research on the device that you're looking at to see what it supports, and you can make a good decision from there. Another factor to consider is how many tuners does the device have. So although I have a single device here, this Quattro from HDHomerun can actually record or watch 4 things at the same time. It can tune into 4 different channels. And so many of these manufacturers make like a dual tuner and a quad tuner. The quad tuner, of course, costs a little bit more. But if you're somebody who watches a lot of network TV and wants to record a lot of stuff, sometimes having the extra tuners helps. But for most people, the dual tuner, which can do 2 channels simultaneously, is often enough. Now, there are significant cost savings for choosing one of these devices. Take a look at what Comcast charges customers for local TV broadcasts in my area, $32.75 a month. This fee goes up like every 6 months. It's not part of your contract, so they can raise it anytime. And right now, customers in my area are paying almost $400 annually to tune into TV channels that are available over the air for free. And when you've got a gateway device, you're not giving up any convenience for being able to watch things the way you want to. So you can often find a very quick return on investment on these devices just by cutting the cord and switching over to one of these things. Some of them have an annual fee for a DVR, but that's often maybe $35 or $40 a month. In the case of the Tablo, they don't charge you at all, at least at the moment, to use the device and record stuff. So these gateways can save you a significant amount of money, and this does not include savings from getting rid of the Comcast rental equipment that you might have, and most cable providers charge you quite a bit for that as well. So how do you get free over-the-air television? Well, this is where it gets a little bit trickier, because you do need to put up an antenna like I used to have at my house in the 80s, and there are, though, some high-tech tools for helping you find where those signals are. One very helpful tool is at rabbitears.info. If you follow the link on screen here, lon.TV/OTA map, you can put in your street address and it will show you where all of your TV stations are and what the probability is of being able to tune into those stations. If you don't want to do it yourself, you can hire the antenna man for a very reasonable price. We've had him on the channel before. And what he'll do is an analysis of your particular area and give you some antenna recommendations for the best results. I had a friend of mine just use him recently, and everything got up and running at her place without an issue at all. So highly recommended to take a look at the Antenna Man if putting up an antenna is not something you're interested in doing yourself. Now, at my house, I had to get this big Televis DatBoss antenna, given how far away I am from my broadcasters. And you can see just how big this thing is. So what you're going to need will vary quite a bit based on your geographic location. But for those of you who are in a suburb of a city or in a city itself, you'll often find that even a very small indoor antenna will get the job done. And you might be surprised what you can pick up for free just by hooking up one of these gateway devices to a very low-cost antenna. But all of this freedom is at risk due to DRM encryption that the broadcasters would like to impose upon all of us. And if they are successful in this effort, which is going to be attached to the new ATSC 3 television standard that's rolling out in 2027, it will mean that this freedom of being able to watch on any screen of your house is going to go away. What they want you to do is subscribe to an expensive cable or streaming option so that you can be paying that $30 to $40 a month to watch TV over the devices that you wish to watch it on. And there is a fight afoot. We've been very active in this, trying to force a change to this new policy that the broadcasters are hoping to impose. I'm not as optimistic as I was a few months ago that we're going to be successful, but as you'll see in a minute, there is some movement afoot here. So if you head over to Lon.TV/FCC instructions, you can actually file on the FCC docket for this television conversion. And they do need to hear from you. And I think the more people that participate in this docket, the better off we're going to be in the end, either with DRM being wiped out completely or with the broadcasters allowing this freedom of gateway devices to continue. And there are some signs that we are getting somewhere with the broadcasters. Zapperbox just the other day announced that they have a plan for their device, which currently is just a single TV device, that will transform it into a gateway that will work with apps like Apple TV and Roku and Android TVs. It's still a ways off, but they think they've managed to get something working. And I know Silicon Dust, the makers of the HDHomerun, are working on a solution as well. So the TV signal might be encrypted, but we may not lose the freedom that we're after. And this was not going to happen before we started this fight. So we have to keep up the pressure here. I would love for DRM not to exist at all, but I am saving a lot of money doing this. I know a lot of you watching are as well. And if you're thinking about cutting the cord, this is a great way to do it. Now, before we close out, I did want to talk about the differences briefly between ATSC 1 and the new ATSC 3 next-gen TV standard. Encryption aside, ATSC 3 is vastly improved over ATSC 1. ATSC 3 is a modern standard using modern video encoding and signaling capabilities, whereas ATSC 1 is from over 20 years ago and uses technology from that era. So there's a lot of improvements with ATSC 3. The encryption, of course, remains an issue, but if you are shopping, you should know that there will be a transition in 2027. So you need to get something that will be able to work after that transition is over with. So for example, right now, the Tablo device, which is very good, only supports ATSC 1.0, and I don't believe the current hardware supports the 3.0 signal. So this will work for a couple of years, but it will stop working once they turn off the ATSC 1 broadcasts. Right now, both are simulcast, so you can still get all of your channels on the Tablo, but not forever. Now, there is no monthly fee for using the Tablo. They also have some internet streaming channels that are also free and will be part of your channel guide on there. And they let you record content from the internet channels too, which is pretty cool. And you can see more in the review that I did a few months ago. Now, next up are the HDHomerun tuners. The two that I recommend are the Flex devices. Those have the USB port. So if you do want to use them as a DVR, you can do that by plugging in an external hard drive. There is no fee to use an HDHomerun to watch live television, but if you are going to do the DVR option, they charge about $35 a year for that. But that's still a heck of a lot cheaper than your cable fee might be. And the Flex 2 tuner unit supports ATSC 1.0. The Flex 4K has 4 tuners that can tune 4 ATSC 1 channels or 2 ATSC 3 channels and 2 ATSC 1.0 channels. And I'm sure as the new standard gets rolled out, they'll probably come up with something that's dedicated just to ATSC 3, but they wanted to have a device that was compatible with both standards, which the Flex 4K is. And so both are great options. The HDHomerun also allows you to use other software packages to interact with it, so you have a lot more options for how you work with your television. Unfortunately, though, the DRM will likely make those other options unusable in the future because they would all have to get certified separately. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. Again, I think the best outcome would be for DRM not to be allowed over the public airwaves. If we're able to do that, great. I'm hoping we still might be able to pull that off, but the likely scenario here is that there will be some capitulation on gateway usage, and we'll be able to at least use our devices with their native apps to continue gatewaying the way we have been over the last couple of years. But we'll keep the fight on. If you haven't already, please do submit comments to the FCC docket. This is now the most commented FCC docket that is currently open, and the vast majority of the filings on the docket came from all of you. So keep the pressure on. We might be able to pull something off here, and I think we're making some progress. That'll do it for this one. Until next time, this is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching.